Okay, so hello to all audience of Métal Zone radio show on Oxygène Radio. We are always at the HELLFEST for the fourth and last day of this edition. So we have the huge pleasure to be with two members from a band coming from Belgium. So welcome, and can you first introduce to our audience?
I'm Joeri, I'm the bass player from EVIL INVADERS.
I'm Joe, I do vocals and guitar.
And the other members?
Max, the guitar player, and Senna, the drummer.
Okay. So you have played at the HELLFEST the first time?
Yep, it was the first time and it was like above all expectations, so we're super happy. Yeah.
What do you think of the crowd, of course, but of the architecture of all the you see?
I mean, it's beautiful, I guess. You know, it's really cool.
We haven't seen much yet because we just arrived here and immediately started unpacking our stuff. And we hope as soon as this is over, we can finally go out and play, you know.
but the things we saw, we saw some bit of the festival grounds. It looked really cool, unique. It's an experience, I guess, more than only a music festival. Really, an experience. Yeah. So we're excited to go and check it out. Yeah. Because I've never been here as a visitor. He went once.
2014, but it's almost 10 years ago. Yeah. So a lot of things changed. I'd already noticed. So I'm quite excited to check it out because I saw a lot of cool art stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I also saw some rain thing that was some fountain going curtains of rain in shapes of crosses and shit.
Exactly.
Oh, really? That's badass, you know? I mean, who the fuck comes up with that shit? That's really cool.
HELLFEST.
I have that on stage, actually.
That's an idea. Maybe next album, you will see it on stage.
Right above the drum kit.
Yeah, it's a unique experience at the HELLFEST, always. Okay, so let's talk about now the latest album, Shattering Reflection, that you released last year. Can you tell us more about the way you compose, the way you write, the recording, etc., etc.?
It's best to ask him.
Actually, this was the first time we worked together with a producer. And since we were in the middle of the COVID situation, everything went through Skype because we were all confined in our house, you know. And it was most of the time me and Max, our guitar player, forwarding demos of our songs to each other. And then we involved, of course, Joeri and Senna and Francesco Paoli from Flesh God Apocalypse. And we had producing through Skype. And because we had no shows planned, we had no sight on when we should release this record because it was in the middle of COVID, you know. We were okay, let's just take our time and write and rewrite songs and really optimize every single aspect of the song so they're all fucking killer, you know. And that was cool because we didn't have we didn't have someone fly over and just sit together with us for a month and then it had to be done in that month. There was no time pressure and Francesco was super chill. We just sent things over to him and he worked on things, rearranged some songs and gave us suggestions hey guys, what about this? What about this option? And then we experimented with more adding synths and stuff to the record because I'm a big Savatage fan and Crimson Glory and they have a lot of that stuff in the background that makes it magic, you know. I always wanted to do that kind of stuff, but we never really had the time or the plugins to do it ourselves. So that when a guy like Francesco comes in, that's fucking cool because he's mastering all that stuff, you know. And then he gave us so many options for you know, and we got to choose in the end in the mixing how hard we mix it in and stuff. And since we're a band that doesn't use backing tracks on stage, we didn't want it to play a major role in the songs. So the songwriting on its own needed to be very basic and very strong, and the synths are just to color it in and give it some magic vibes, you know. So
perfect. What about the lyrical themes of your song, and are they as important as the music, or is the music first and the lyrics is just to
To me personally, I mean, a lot of people don't care too much about lyrics. I noticed from our fan base and stuff, but to me personally, I always think if you have a really good song and the lyrics are shit, it fucks up the song entirely to me. And you need at least some lines in the song that everybody can relate to, you know, that they can say like, oh, I feel this way too, or like, fuck yeah, this guy's right. And to me, lyrics are really important, and I can ventilate a lot of my like thoughts and personal, you know, like problems I deal with like into these songs and scream them out, you know. And yeah, it's a cool way. It's like therapy in a way, you know. I mean, but I always like the inspiration comes from a lot of different places, but it's always very personal to me as well. I just pull it into the extreme, you know, to make and try to make it as open for interpretation as possible.
I don't ask you, but can you do for the people who don't know you at the moment, can you do a brief history of the genesis and the creation of the band?
Yeah, I wasn't there at the creation, so it's actually better to ask him again.
So yeah, I started out like playing guitar when I was like 13, together with my cousin who was older than me, and he knew how to play electric guitar, and he taught me a bit. Like I remember, like he was teaching me like Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be from AC/DC, and we were jamming that shit in the shed, you know, in my parents' garden. And then from there on, like I had a friend in school who had like a drum kit from his older brother at home, so I told him like, hey, we're gonna play the drums, you know, you're gonna learn how to play the drums, and we're gonna start a band. And you know, we were like 14 years old or something, started jamming, and then we played our first show in 2009, and from there like things went on to get more serious, and lineup started to change. He joined in 2015, and we've had this lineup since 2015. He was the last one to join, actually. And yeah, like things have been going crazy. We released our first EP in 2013, and now we're at our third record, and we've been growing ever since, and we're looking forward to see where this roller coaster is going to take us, you know. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, and you are signed on a very known label, Napalm Records, from Austria. It is very, very fucking cool for a band like you to be signed on this label.
Yeah, we're happy with the cooperation. I mean, especially with the latest album, we noticed they really were pushing the album because they loved it as well. They said like personally, like, man, this is a good album, and you could see their love. It was not only like promotion because it would sell. I mean, they loved the album as well. They wanted it to sell good. They wanted to promote it, and that's cool. Like it really works well with the label.
Yeah, good promotion, good work from the label.
We were also like very lucky that they actually contacted us after release of our first EP, and we just released it, and they contacted us and said like, hey, we want to sign you guys, and we're like, we didn't even think that this was in the cards for us, you know, and yeah, it's been great. It's been really great.
Back to when you were young, were a teenager. Can you tell us the musical environment in which you grew? Was there music at home? Maybe your parents were playing or listening music?
For me, it wasn't actually. My parents hated music. They still don't really are into music. But it was actually my brother that was into like the modern kind of metal, like Slipknot and Korn. Yeah. And that's when I got introduced to metal. And for me, it was first the modern things, and then I discovered the older stuff like Exodus and old Metallica and stuff. And that's when I got really into music actually. But I have a really wide variety of music I like. It's not only old school thrash or something. It can be really widespread. But it was because of my brother. But he sort of a bit grew out of the music, not completely. Yeah. But it's not like he didn't learn an instrument or something. He's like not a musician. But for me, it just kept on. I want to learn guitar, learn bass, and it kept going. And still, like whenever I'm doing my job next to music, from morning until evening, I'm listening to music. So it's still a big part of my life. It will always be a big part of my life.
Yeah, it's a way of life. It's a way of living.
Yeah, way of living. I mean, that's how it is. And for you?
For me, I think I started listening to metal music when I was 7 or 8 years old, because I had an older brother he wasn't into that music, but he was playing like a video game, and it had like some heavy metal riffing on the background, and I was sitting next to him. I always looked at him when he was playing games, because I was too young to play the games, you know. And it was some monster truck madness or something like that, and when you pick your truck, you know, there was like dum 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 dum, and I was like, whoa, what's this shit, you know, it's cool, it sounds heavy. And then he's like, some guys in my classroom, they listen to that stuff, you know, I'll bring you home a tape. And then he gave me like some tape, and I didn't know which bands were on it, you know, it was just like heavy music, that's all I knew. Later on I figured out it was like, but it took me like 12 years to figure out what was on that tape, you know. There was like Unanimated, Ancient God of Evil, that's like a melodic death metal, I don't know if you know it. Yeah, and then with the guitars, like, it rocks, you know, and I was like, fuck, this is cool. And I've been listening to that record on that tape in my Walkman like daily for like more than a year, you know. And then later on I discovered other bands from there, but like, yeah, and then Final.
So you play at the HELLFEST. Did you have other festivals, shows planned at the moment?
Yeah, next week we do Basin Fire Fest. I don't know how you pronounce it. Basin Fire. It's like in Czech Republic. Okay. It's a really cool festival, great lineup. And the week after we do Estonia. It's like Hard Rock Lager Festival with Arch Enemy and stuff also. And for festivals, yeah, we have one in the USA, Prog Power USA, in September. Yeah. In between you have some support shows with Sepultura. Okay. So we have, like, it's not a super busy festival summer, but it's okay, you know, because we've been touring a lot since March. Yeah, last year we did a lot of festivals, and this year we did like a lot of like touring. Like we did the Warbringer co-headline with Warbringer tour in March and April, and after that, like 1 or 2 weeks after, we went to South America. So and then we got home, and then that's only a week ago, and now with HELLFEST, and now we have every weekend the show until July, and then it's and in August we have then the shows with Sepultura, September USA. So
right now we're like gonna try to focus more on writing new songs, and hopefully release something at the start of 2025.
Cool. So check the social networks. This was 2 members of EVIL Invaders at the HELLFEST. Thank you very much for your time, for your welcome, for the fucking beer. Cheers, man. Very cool. And wish you a lot of good things, of course, for the band, for you, for your family. Take care of you. Love every day. This is the most important. And of course, the culture of the music. Listen to music. Thank you. Bye-bye.